everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. We're here checking out a new 225 map that was part of 22. That is, what is that, Silverrun Forest? Yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. And we're just here at the old homestead, if you want to call it a homestead, considering this is more of a logging map than anything. And I'm kind of taking this just a slightly different way and a slightly different approach than what I normally do. And that's because, like I said, this is kind of an old but new map. Unfortunately, you still can't enter this humble abode, even though it is seems to be fully decorated. So that's rather irritating that it still has not been made enterable. But it is what it is. Can only do so much with what we got. So starting off, obviously, like I said, we're here at the old homestead. We have a few pieces of equipment starting off in new farmer mode. The Komatsu 911.5. Nice little tree harvester. Then we have an old Volvo BM. Don't ask me the year of this, I have no clue. But we do have the, what is that? The winch? Yeah, winch anchor thing, so we can pull things with it. And then you do actually start off with a chainsaw. So we went ahead and placed the chainsaw in its holder here on that. And then we have this guy. Aside from that Volvo, I have a feeling I'm going to be getting rid of this one. This is, even though it says Volvo BM there, my information here says Volvo SM462. So take it for what it is. But I'm probably going to sell this. I'm probably also going to sell this guy. Reason being is because I've already gotten a few pieces of equipment. Not a lot, but a few. Because I know I'm going to sell this guy, let's go ahead and drive on down to the shop. After we take a look around, like I said, I'm not really planning on doing a walkthrough of the map. This is an older map. If you're on 25 or on 22, it should be, I believe it was part of a DLC. I just don't remember if it was free or not. Because I tend to get all the DLCs, whether they're free or not. Because, well, I like the game that much. For this one, I'm not really planning on doing anything spectacular as far as trying to maintain a certain amount of, or I guess age of equipment by any means. But the changes I've seen a little bit throughout the map, I kind of like. Not gonna lie. It is a nice updated version of it. We still have a train crossing up here. And so we're just gonna kind of pull this guy over here. We're gonna sell this guy. Let's get the other piece brought down as well. So we kind of went a little overboard. You know, well, I say overboard, but because I was trying to figure out this guy. I had gotten this back piece, the utility bed, but it doesn't seem to want to go on just anything. Because I believe I initially got this pickup truck, which is the Ford Super Duty. And that bed did not want to go onto that cab. This is the Lizard Super Duty. This piece goes on this truck. Don't ask me why, it is what it is. Oh, I hear a boat in the background. And because I had gotten all three of these, they're all made by the same modder. I had one extra one, so I just kind of made this my utility truck, so... And why is it yellow? Because, well, why not? I tend to use orange for a lot of things, and everything else is orange. So I wanted this one to stand out a little bit more. So it's John Deere yellow in metallic form. My bad. And we do have this guy. I can't even begin to pronounce that name, but it looks close enough to a John Deere to me, just kind of decked out for forestry work. And we got, this is the Lizard 40-foot flatbed, and set up to haul logs. This guy is a newer mod, I'll put it that way. It's the forestry service trailer. And we do have it hooked up to this beautiful F350. I do have to turn it on. Let's unfold it, get the lights on. This is actually a fuel trailer as well. So you can bring your equipment over here and fill it. Of course, we have to have chains because why not? It does have IC. So we can turn lights on and off, and I don't know why I'm stuck in crouch mode, but we are. I do believe it had an option for highlighting areas so where you can do service, and I think probably for fuel. I have those turned off because I don't always like those. They're not always done the best, so I'd prefer not to use those. I may end up changing the green out for something else, but that's just more so for when I have the headlights on. Like that. Basically just the marker lights around. And this is the home away from home. Got a TV there, bunk beds. Looks like another little workshop to work on stuff. A little minor, small kitchen area to cook things, your meals. Fortunately, no microwave. We have an oven though, so maybe that runs off of the fuel up front. But we can take this to wherever we're working on logs, and gives us a spot to where we can supposedly rest and relax when we're not doing the work. So we're gonna give this a shot, see how it goes. I believe this is supposed to crouch down, but given the way these stairs are hitting the ground, I don't think that's gonna necessarily be required. So plus, if the ground is unlevel, at least we can level it out this way. Because it has the feet that come down in the front. I'm surprised nothing in the back, but looks like with that fuel part here in the front, we can also put pallets and such up top here if we needed to. There are straps. So if we needed to put, say, def up there, we could, but I believe we should be able to... Well, I thought it had an option, but it... Oh, there it is. It was showing me the fuel tank in the back of the pickup. Yeah, so when we connect back up to it, it does give us the option for def. We don't have either of them filled up by any means. Of course, I left the door open. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up to the property. Because we're going to have to get all this stuff up that way. A lot of what we're going to be doing is going to be cutting trees with a chainsaw and getting things situated that way and using the equipment that we have down here. So I may not even need the old Volvo, but I think we'll use that at the very least because it does have that this thing's got my front end a little light, wanting to move around on me. The winch, and it has the winch on the front of that, so if we need it, we got it. Need to get this thing turned around. Thankfully, with those chains on there, it helps with a little bit of grip. Let me get this out of the way, because I kind of want to put that trailer right here where this is at. Like I said, I think this guy we're going to sell next. Because I don't really have a choice. Well, I do have a choice. But I don't know if I really want to keep this particular piece of equipment just yet. So I think what we'll do is we'll get this parked up. Unhitched, at least for now. And we'll get that brought down to the shop so we can sell that. Let's see if we can get this backed up to where I want it. Not too bad of a driver most days. Well, that actually looks like it's pretty level right there. We'll just turn those lights off for now. And I think we may end up swapping out the house for something else. We'll see. I am going to want to actually get a lumberyard built somewhere. So that is probably going to be down there close to the tracks. Because I don't really have a flat enough piece of land up here to do that. And I tell you, for as nimble as this thing is, would make things easy, but at the same time, I hate using the forestry heads on these. I don't really have the proper equipment aside from my mouse and keyboard to do that. So yeah, this thing's cruising at like 13 miles an hour. That's right. It took me a hot second when I first got into this to remember where the trails go. So yeah, I realized I could just look at the markings on the road already from where I've driven. So thankfully the other ones kind of disappeared on me, so I don't need to make a mistake of going somewhere where I shouldn't. But we do have a few things on this map that we can build, I do believe. I think this still has the, still has the roller coaster over there. So we may have to purchase that. Train doesn't blow its horn around here, so gotta be careful on that crossing. Alright. So, for over here... Yeah, okay. So yeah, this is just like the house I'm building on Riverbend Springs and everything like that, where we have to get a certain amount of product before it goes to the next step. So yeah, we'll get a wood mill going. And I'll probably make sure I buy the land for over here and probably plant it down just right over here. So which means I may have to clear out some of these trees. As far as the map goes, if you guys aren't familiar with this particular map, once we get the save done, there we go. This is the map. Basically, we have the river to the south of us. That's it. Unfortunately, I don't believe there's any way to get down here. Nope, wrong one. Let's okay, there we go. So the darkened areas are the boundaries of the map. And the green here is what we currently own. So thankfully we do own this property where I'm thinking of building our log mill. Nope, that's not what I wanted to select. Yeah, so that's our farmhouse. That's the only building we currently have. Nothing owned as far as production chains. And it's spazzing out on me as far as what's available. So I don't know what the deal is with that. No animal pens. I think the only thing I might do is chickens on this map, just because they do provide eggs, which is a decent source. Oh, and bees for honey. So just so we can have that as a reliable source of income for the most part. As far as our crop calendar goes, if you guys care about that, there are a couple of fields that you can purchase and work on immediately. Let's see here. Nope, not oats. Carrots and peas. So at least with my startup, that's what you get if you want those. Okay, so this one is oats. 26 is oats. So there are 3 separate fields, and I may think about buying those. If anything, just to have something a little extra to do, if that makes sense. But as we zoom in here, you can see kind of what we got available. If we buy this, it takes us all the way up here. So we may do some clear cutting so we can start raking in that money. Unfortunately, I can't buy the pond. Some of these other areas I can buy, but I cannot buy the pond, and I don't know why. But I think what we'll do is clear cut some of these areas and maybe look into doing some, I want to say clear cutting, but more so getting them ready so we can plant stuff in it. I don't have that equipment yet, but thankfully right here, as long as we stay on this side of the trail, we should be able to put a sawmill here. Apparently I have something selected. What did I select? Oh, I tagged that for some reason. Oops. Let's see here. Let's go into construction. Because why not? We need a factory. I have an idea of what I want. And actually, this would work. Because as you see those icons there, it actually splits it up into different areas. Which is awesome. And if we'll probably have to buy rock or just buy the stuff we need for if it requires anything to do with concrete. Though I could very easily go the route of just buying the rock and going that route. But this could be very simple, and I do like it. But we also have this guy too. But it doesn't have the separate drop points. It just kind of drops them there, I believe. Then you got your sawdust there. This thing is a beast. Looks like there's also a spot for chips as well. I never used this particular one. I've used ones similar to it. And at least the other ones that I've used, all those squared off markers on this side means all the 4 different areas for what you make. So I do kind of like that. And plus it's got an overhead. You got a little workshop back in there. So that is more covered. It is more protected by the rain and weather. But can it fit over here? Overlaps. What if we go about it this way? I think we may need to do some trimming of trees over here first, and then try to level out the ground before we actually place this. Because I could theoretically just place it right here. And that'd be a decent spot right about there for right here along the trail. It's up here close to where all the finished goods should be relatively decent as far as where else we can send them. So it's not like anyone else who is coming to pick them up will have to drive up the mountain or hill or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do with that. That's only $20,000 too to build it. So I do want to just double check, make sure I don't have anything else that might work out, but I think that might be our go-to. Because I think anything else we have... See what I mean? Train doesn't sound its horn. And there's some actual crossings over here too that it should have sounded its horn for, but it didn't. Let's see here. Got a few other production points I'll probably place down closer to the home base. This guy is designed to shred the wood, basically make wood chips. So if we end up having way too much wood and we just want to get wood chips, I might go that route and get that in addition to everything else. So we do have several different options here. We even have this here that can actually do refined wood chips. Not sure what we would need for that, but it's an option. And this is just a simple sawmill as well. I like the other one that we first had out though. But I don't like the idea that it's not covered. So we may have to build a shed for that if we wanted to go that route. Figure out the right size shed and use that, if anything. So that's always an option as well. But I do like that second option that we had. Again, this is one that basically just drops everything in one spot, and if it fills up and you need something else, you got to pull everything until you get what you need. Versus being able to just hop in and pull out what you need, and then it fills it back up. So that's the only reason why I don't like some of these, like this one, because of that. That's cement factory. I got so many mods here. Oh, that has an option for a shed, huh? Shed, yes or no? Oh, just like the other ones. Oh, this is level 2? Interesting. Maybe I can never remember if the different levels are designed to make it process faster or not. I'm sure that's the case, but I just never use these enough to know for certain. I'm sure someone can fill me in on that. Well, that's interesting for pig food production. Sorry. Getting off track. The other thing I might do is pop this thing down. What this does is just makes firewood. So that we can do that and then put a sell point for firewood down here and just go about it that way. This one, I wouldn't mind. Thought I saw a train coming again. This guy, I wouldn't mind putting it more closer, like, you know, up to wherever we are working at, say down here. So that way we can just, all the leftover cuts from the big pieces of wood, we can just toss into that and it can make firewood from that. Which is something I think we might do. Because having a couple different resources of income is always a nice thing to do. Nice to have. But anyway. Let's go ahead and get this equipment taken up top. Or at least try to. So I got the flatbed trailer because of being able to load it up with bigger pieces of lumber if we need it. Then the flatbed truck itself, well, that's because it's doing what it's doing there. We can use it to haul equipment around if we need to. It's powerful enough that it'll do the job for us just fine. Then the little guy is more so for traveling or bringing people, moving people around. It is a 4-door, plus we got the room in the back there, the flatbed area. So, not a bad thing to have by any means. And we made it up here. So if I had unloaded this prior, brought it up here prior, we could have used it to bring the equipment. And there we go. And it kind of self-unloads itself. Oh, lordy. Oh. Are you stuck on that? I think you are. Yep. Yeah, I saw this in my mod folder and went, you know what? I've never used this. So, I wanted to use it. Okay. There we go. Had to figure out which way to move the mouse to drop it. Come on. So yeah, it's kind of our employee transit. And being out here dealing with lumber, might as well make the most out of it and use it to transport other things. So I don't think it's quite strong enough to haul this trailer around, but at least we got it if we need it. Oh, I didn't realize that it had IC on it either. That's nifty. Sweet. So we can get out here and drop the sides so we can load up pallets if we need to. Alright. I figured up here we didn't need the flashers on, so that's why they weren't on. If we were driving down the main roads, that'd be one thing. There we go. Get that shut down. We're going to have to get this spun around and make sure that's latched. This is definitely a lot smaller, a lot easier to get spun around than that big trailer. We're just going to back it up down here just to the right of that tree. Or try to, so we don't take it out. Oop. There we go. I hit the wrong button at the wrong time. Yeah, I figured I'd have 3 different trucks for 3 different purposes. Kind of have our own little fleet for up here. Because, you know, we're going to need a fleet. Different things for different purposes. Let's get tabbed down to here. So this trailer, of course, is set up for us to have DEF and diesel. So we are going to get that filled up here before too long. But it's also set up for us to be able to take care and maintain our equipment. So for the most part, it's just going to be that tractor that we haven't brought back yet. That tractor is going to be able to help us get everything moved. So once I cut things down with the chainsaw, and I do have one on me, and in addition to what's on that tractor, well, I guess technically on this tractor up here, I don't plan on ever taking this setup apart, because this is our repair truck. It's got all of our tools in it, and whatever we don't have in the truck is in the trailer. And like I said, we just need to get that filled up with DEF, and we should be good to go with that. Well, DEF and diesel. But just starting out, we have no real reason to worry about that at the moment. There we go. So yeah, this unfortunately does not appear to have a place for me to stick a chainsaw, so yeah, that's going to be the only downside. If I swap out the Volvo that we have up at the farm, at the house, then I will consider replacing it with a different tractor and having something similar to what this has, so we can worry about pulling the trees around after we delimb them and all of that. So, like I said, this has plenty. Oh, trees coming. So this has plenty here that if we needed to, I can cut down a tree and drag it over. So I'm not going to worry about that. It should be plenty of effort for us. I may just have to worry about more so unhooking this trailer so that way we can use the crane to get everything loaded. Or, you know, what I tend to do when I'm not on camera and using my strength mods to do it. But yeah. So that's kind of where we stand for this. Stick around. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the next video for this map, but you know, there should be a second one. I can't hold any promises with the way I've been doing my videos lately. So guys, as always, if you happen to like what you see or catch yourself watching more than one of my videos, please do us both a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. That bell that you'll be notified about every single video I post, and not just select a few here and there. If you made it this far in the video, I want to say thank you, and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. So with all that being said, we'll catch you in the next episode. Take care. Peace.